Hello and welcome to the Red Button Marketing and Training podcast. This is Button Banter, where we're going to have conversations with those people working in a marketing role and find out more about their stories, journeys, experiences and thoughts and feelings, because marketing is just epic. So we would like to reach out and chat more with those people who are out there doing great stuff. So enjoy this podcast. This is Button Banter. Today I am joined by the absolutely fabulous Donna Sandall from Donna Sandall Family Law. Morning, Donna.
Hello, Mags. Good to be here.
Good to be here too. And I seem as though I have a thing about people's first podcasts, but is this your first podcast, Donna?
It is. I've not done a podcast before. And yes, my children were laughing when I told them I was going to do this. So
brilliant.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And I think when we were warming up there and just having a little bit of a chat before we actually came live, I think, did we say it's been like on Radio 1 and am I Zoe Ball? Is she still on Radio 1? I don't know. Anyway.
She might be Radio 2.
She might be Radio 2.
Yeah.
I know. Which radio station do you listen to, Donna?
I'm a bit of a virgin.
Are you?
Really, Chris Evans on a morning.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I know. I tend to flick. Do you flick radio stations by any chance?
I think I do. On a weekend.
Yeah.
I sort of dash between sort of Radio 2 and Virgin, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just depending on who's on, that sort of makes me decide, really.
Yeah.
I've got to like the DJ.
Yeah, well, there you are. I think I've got to like the song. I don't know if maybe it's confession time. I'm not sure. This is Button Banter, but maybe we'll just do confessions. But I think I am guilty of flicking between about 4 or 5 stations, depending on what the song is and whether I can groove to it.
Yes.
Is that the right thing
I'm
to
like
say?
that, yeah.
Is that okay? I'm driving in the car. Is that right? Oops. Oh, God, you're a lawyer. Oh, no, Donna. I'm starting to panic.
Not that sort of lawyer. You're all right with me.
Can I get away with that?
You can get away with that.
So back to the subject of law as well. So this is exciting. How long have you had your own business? And tell us a little bit about starting up your own practice. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, it was a big step for me. I've been a solicitor in matrimonial and family law now for 22 years. And I've been a sole practitioner with my own firm for 21 months. So, big difference. But then I suppose it's not any different to what I've always done, really. Same clients, same type of work, same courts and judges, and, nothing's changed there. So I suppose having my own business, it's different. There's not the office politics, but again, that's probably not a bad thing. If I'm in a mood, it's just me in the room.
Yeah.
It was a big decision, but something I'm pleased I took, and I've not regretted it for 1 minute.
Brilliant.
It was something that came about during lockdown. I was working for a company, and I think working from home is different altogether anyway. Sort of homeschooling the children, working from home. Sitting at my dining room table and I did 47 court hearings in 5 months on the telephone, which is different.
Donna, I'm not interrupting your flow here, but can I just say, I think that's beyond epic. Wow.
It was certainly different, and I think it just gave me a moment to think, could I do this? I've obviously got the experience. I've been a lawyer, as I say, 20 odd years, and I just took the plunge. I thought I'm gonna go for it. So applied for the authorisation with the SRA, and then just sat back and waited for that to come through, and it did. I was delighted, and then just set up in the January of 2021. So found an office for myself in the I'm in the Darlington arena, which is it's interesting. It's now the rugby stadium. So even this morning I was sat at my desk. Looking out to see, probably about 12 men running about and warming up. Yeah.
I think we need to keep this, obviously, politically correct, but I'm just starting to wonder whether or not we should all just go and get an office down at the arena. There's some interesting, perks from Monday morning.
Absolutely. That's it. It can get distracting. Luckily, I wasn't doing a court hearing, so I was okay.
I was going to say, I'm just working out some of the things you said there. So when like you were saying, I'm in the office on my own, and if you're in a bit of having one of those moods or whatever, but I'm sure there's plenty of things around you, Donna, to lift your spirits.
Oh, well, that's it. And there's still people. There are other businesses in the arena, so there's you don't feel sort of on your own. I think the thing with my work is I'm either in front of a client, I'm on the phone to a client, or I'm sat in a courtroom looking at a judge and talking. So it's quite rare to be actually on your own doing matrimonial and family law. I think you're always with somebody or in front of someone or listening to somebody.
Exactly.
So it's not really a sort of a lonely job. Plus, I've kept some nice contacts with other lawyers, obviously, that I've known over the years, who I can call up at drop of a hat and ask for advice on anything. Or I think you've still got that support system there.
Yeah, absolutely. I just pick up on that point because it's very much about people, isn't it, and building a network and having those people around you. So, I know you use that phrase, and I think we've all used it. I took the plunge, and I think, you said that. But I think it's built on you having like really solid belief in what you do and that inner confidence.
Yes,
that is 100% there for you to take that.
That's right.
Make that move and take up and set your own business up, get an office and be out there. I think it's really needs to be recognised because it's a really new thing.
It is. I think
but amazing.
People say, oh, you're brave doing that. But I don't really see it like that. It was something that I felt I wanted to do. I mean, I moved back to the Northeast in 2018. I'd been living and working in Peterborough for the previous 18 years.
Wow.
I'd gone there for a training contract back in 2000 and then settled there, met my husband there. We had our kids there and, worked at a couple of law firms in Peterborough. And then it was just a relocation back to the Northeast in 2018. And I think probably before then, it wasn't the right time or the right place to set up on my own. But, back to my roots and my hometown of Darlington, it feels right to do it here, and I suppose I'm still getting used to the Northeast in a sense. I mean, we've been back here 4 years now, getting used to the court system. But I know the courts now. I know the judges. I know the other lawyers. So I just find the Northeast is amazing, isn't it? Anyway, and the people here are brilliant,
Absolutely.
and I've had a lot of support. Setting up. Everyone has been really supportive of what I've done with it.
Yeah,
so,
which is great. And I mean, this is all very much about, we love in this session to capture those thoughts and feelings about people who have got new experiences, well, like, setting up a business or, sometimes as well in a marketing role, just touching on that M word for you, how did that feel about taking like that responsibility and having that as part of the business process really and having to be out there marketing yourself? Was that new and how did you feel?
Well, that's it. I mean, I've worked in, as I say, in 3 law firms over the 21 years and different approaches to marketing. Some firms have done more than others. I think one firm that I was there in Peterborough were very, very hot on the marketing and business development, which, they prioritised it almost over being the lawyer, being the solicitor. They said, we expect you can do that. We expect you to be good at that. But what we want you doing is getting out there and mixing and networking. And that was really my first taste of business development. And I really got into it. I enjoyed it. It's a different element to the job. It takes you away from just what you're doing as a day-to-day job anyway. So I think it's good to do it. But like you say, for me having my own firm, the importance of it is probably stepped up a level altogether because how do you market yourself? How do you get the name out? Obviously, I've only ever been known as being a solicitor in a firm. Yeah. Now I'm a sole practitioner. It's on me. Everything is my name there, and also everything I do is building up my caseload, building up the firm's profile, and. I think also it's a well-being thing as well. Getting out there, mixing, networking, it's good for me. As a sole practitioner, you need to be around other people, and also hearing from other people who've set up on their own, whether it's in law or whether it's another type of firm. It gives you the confidence to know that people have done it and made something of it. Absolutely,
I think that's right. And I think it's like you were saying before, it's about keeping a good network around you and finding out from other people's experiences as well, and also figuring out. Donna Sandall Family Law, what's that going to look like? What's it going to be like? And it's very much you, and you're a great person and very personable, and it's nice to be out there and being as you, and I think that's fabulous. But it's also developing that whole experience of what clients are going to feel and find when they use your services, That's right. I think with family law, matrimonial law, it's very unusual to be in front of the end user at anything, marketing wise. So I'm very rarely at a networking event or a breakfast or something like that where the person that I'm talking to would be
the person who says, actually, I would like a divorce, please. You know, it's very, very unusual. I think that's only ever happened once.
Yeah.
But what you're right. How I come across, how I'm talking to somebody, they are then thinking of me if they're talking to their friend in the pub or the friend at the gym or their hairdresser, and then it's that person who might say, you know, I'm having some difficulty in my marriage, or, you know, something to do with children, and then I hope I'll spring to mind, you know, and that has happened, and that, like you say, it's nice of you to say that, but I hope when I'm coming across and talking to people, they're imagining how I would be as a lawyer sat in front of a client, and then, you know, I come to their mind if they're talking to a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll just touch on it only slightly because it's probably for a whole nother time, but we did have an event we were at together, weren't we, Donna? And we happened to both of us individually stand up and ask a question to a certain politician.
We did.
So, you know, I think therefore that tells me definitely in terms of lawyer, you know, you're prepared to stand up and absolutely be there. So I think that sends out a great message to people who might want to engage your services. So that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, my job, I'm used to talking. I like talking. I like talking in my private life. You know, I'm a chatty person, I think. But yes, standing up with a microphone, a bit like the podcast sort of situation. It's not really what I do a lot of the time. But yeah, that was a good thing. And again, I turned that into a marketing opportunity, and I posted something on my my Facebook business page about that event. You know, and made something of that.
Very interesting. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's just how the legal profession we've had to move on a bit. You know,
it's changed, hasn't it?
It has changed.
Really, yeah.
It has changed.
What are you noticing?
Well, I mean, the hearings are, you know, there's still a mix now. So we're sort of moving a little bit away from the telephone hearings, and we're sort of emerging back into the courtrooms. But there's still a lot of telephone hearings out there. The world has moved on. I think we've realised that you don't need to be driving all the way into Newcastle, parking, struggling to the court just for a 20-minute hearing. It's just not needed. And I think we've had to just get used to that. And I think what was alien to me, you know, sitting on the end of a telephone line doing a phone hearing, and my client was in their house, the judge was in their house, the other side were in their house, and you could hear a dog barking in the background, you know, and the judge was sort of saying, sorry about that, that's my dog running in. That was so odd, and then that just became totally normal, and now we're going back into the courts and readjusting to that. So it's funny how something sort of new can become the norm, really. Yeah,
that shows that ability to change as people. You know, when, you know, new things come along, we have to learn and figure out how we absorb that and move on, don't we, really? You know. So, Donna, tell me how it feels to have your own practice.
Well, I think in terms of the work, it's what I've always known, what I've always done. So I'm happy that it's, you know, a continuation of all of that, and the clients I meet and the experiences with court and meeting other solicitors. I suppose that's all what I've always known. Having my own business, it's opened up a whole different world for me, I suppose. I've never had my own business before, and you know, having an accountant for the first time, and sort of all grown up things like that, because it's different. But
I love that. This is not. We're not playing at it really now.
No, this is real.
This is real life.
Yeah,
it's not fuzzy felt.
No, it isn't. But I think it's made me focused on on making a success of this. I mean, I've always been that sort of person anyway. Wherever I've worked, I've been really driven, and I've always wanted to do the best for the firm. And I suppose having my own it's so important now, you know, and everything I'm doing in terms of doing a good job for people and hoping they'll recommend me to others, and the marketing side of things, going out and going to events and being ready to talk about what I've done, but really just making connections. I think people get scared about marketing and going to networking and thinking, God, you have to stand there and do this horrendous elevator pitch, and it's all quite straight and everything, but really it's not. You need to just relax into these events, I think. Brilliant. That's how you connect with people anyway, you know, just being yourself. So
absolutely. It sounds like you've really got that whole thing, people use phrase of wearing hats. It sounds like you've got that ability to really switch your hats from doing the work, you know, being the lawyer, being out there promoting your business, your accounts head. Do you find that easy then, switching all those hats and different roles?
I think it's just something that I've had to embrace, a bit like everything that's happened in in the job as well.
Yeah.
We've all just had to move on and adapt, and I've got a good support network, so people that are there on hand to look after the thing. I'm not going to say I'm an accountant. I'm not. I can do so much of it, but you've got to know where your limitations are, where you've got your skill set, and mine is representing people and taking them through that journey really. So, but I can sort of juggle to an extent, and I think it's given me the flexibility to have my own decisions on how my day looks as well.
Absolutely,
if
which is
I've
great.
come out to do this today, it's brilliant. It's something that I've never done before. It's not something I would have been able to just go off and do in the middle of a working day. Again, if I want to finish work earlier in the afternoon and go to something at my daughter's school or with my son, I can, and then I can go back and work on the evening. So it's given me that
I think that's great. Well, it looks like you're totally smashing it to me, Donna, to be fair. You're actually doing amazing. So there you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's definitely something that's going to evolve.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really nice point, actually. It just shows it's like, the right skills, doing the right thing at the right time. And when you build that network up, I think that's that whole trusted thing going on, isn't it? Rather than thinking you can like do everything, it's recognising the right skills. But it's lovely that you've got that network of other sort of legal professionals, as well, that you can reach out to, and it's reciprocated, which is absolutely, brilliant.
And it's just about, the right experience for the client, and we often describe a divorce or something to do with children as a distress purchase. It's not something that people will often be in a very happy place coming into. They're upset, it's traumatic, and it's about making that experience as positive as I can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And looking after that person. That's why with the face-to-face appointments now, I mean, my initial appointment is free of charge, and I've seen now as people are wanting to come back in and see me face-to-face for that initial appointment, I can see the importance of that for people. They want to see you, they want to see what you look like, because they're maybe going to spend the next 9 months going through a matter with me, and it's got to be the right fit for them. They've got to know that they have confidence in me, and I think that can really only come across with a face-to-face appointment.
Absolutely.
Something is lost on the telephone, I think, with that.
Yeah. Okay, Donna, so just before we kind of sort of wrap up on our podcast, I'm going to completely put you on the spot. So if you could describe in one word, and yes, Donna's eyes have just kind of gone, whoa, very wide-eyed there. Donna, one word and what it feels like to set up your own practice.
Right.
There you go.
Right, I'll go. Am I allowed a hyphen? Because I was...
Oh, crikey.
I was going to say...
This is when I'm not going to argue with the family lawyer, so you can absolutely have a hyphen, Donna.
I would say life-changing.
Wow, that's
but
great.
I know that sounds dramatic and massive, but I think on lots of levels, for my family, for me personally, professionally, it's changed a lot of things for us, all for the better.
Yeah, which is great, and that's really good, and well done. If you could describe marketing as well, how would you describe marketing?
I would say exciting.
Yeah,
it's something that a lot of people get frightened of. I think just the word in itself, it's like, oh goodness, you know,
what does that mean?
Yeah, what do I have to do, and how many things a day do I do? And but I think you need to be organised with it. You can't just sit back and think that the work will come in. A lot of it is word of mouth in the job I do. But you've got to have secured a client initially. From somewhere, and it can take different forms. So.
I think another time, Don, I might have to welcome you back for that. That's a whole different podcast, because don't get me started on word of mouth. I'm a big fan, but I genuinely believe word of mouth is based upon an amazing marketing process as well, because I'm not going to let probably Jim tell Bob something in the pub and rely on that, and I'd like to influence that. So word of mouth for me is amazing.
I think so.
I think word of mouth is massively a key part of it all. But that's achieved by doing something, and like you say, word of mouth, but it's probably based on all the amazing stuff that you're doing and all the great experience that you're giving to your clients and how you make people feel. And
I think so. And it's such a big decision, isn't it, to choose a solicitor? So I think if a friend is saying, well, I used her, and it was really positive, and I was pleased with the result, and it was all good, I think you coming into it cold will go with that as recommendation,
Absolutely.
and you'll trust your friend, won't you, more than
Yeah.
anyone, more than just an advert.
So what's next for Donna Sandall Family Law?
Well, I think just continuing to do the work I'm doing in the way I'm doing, continuing to get out there and attend things, and really just about trying to, raise the profile of the firm so that more people know about me. It's not an overnight thing. It's a gradual thing, but I think over time you meet more and more people who know about you. There's connections that you build, and then your name is there.
That's right. And I think we've touched on it there and basically said that's what marketing's all about, isn't it? It's about that consistency, keeping going and continuity, and see it as long term. Just on the subject of out of work. So what is your thing? I mean, I know you're in a sporting environment, so you've got, we touched on that and said it's quite epic really that you're in this fabulous place. Your office is in the Northern Echo Arena and you get to see kind of some sporty action. But what do you do in your spare time? Are you...
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a super sporty person. I mean, I did the whole netball and hockey and all the rest of it when I was at school, but I can't say I carried on with any of that. I think I'm more a sort of, I like swimming. So nice. I do some lane swimming in the week. And
fabulous.
I really enjoy that. I think
that's great to help switch off a bit as well and just clear the head. And
it's wonderful. It's just a full hour of just nothing really, and just good for you as a fitness thing.
It's
anyway,
all round, isn't it? It's all round.
It is, but I do amazing. Like that. I like walking. I do like biking as well. I often get my bike out, and again, it's just a bit of.
Do I feel a triathlon coming on, Donna?
No, I wouldn't go that far, Max.
Have we touched on something new here? I'm like, wow, this is all about new things, new experiences. Well, you've heard it here first, guys.
But yeah, I mean. We live in a lovely place, don't we?
Yeah,
around,
absolutely.
You can go anywhere. So as a family, we like going out on the bikes and just walking. So yeah, really lucky
fabulous.
that we live around here. So
great balance. Well, do you know what? I think that just really kind of concludes the podcast today really, really well. It just shows that you've taken great steps, made moves forward, set up your business, got great balance in life, doing really well out there, being amazing. So I just want to say thank you so much as well for coming and sharing this time with us and having a bit of button banter, Donna. Thank you so much. And the future looks very, very bright for Donna Sandall Family Law. So thank you so much, Donna.
Thanks,
great to
Max.
see you.
Thanks for inviting me, and it's been brilliant.
You're really welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye then.
Thank you for joining us today on the Red Button Marketing and Training podcast. You have been listening to Button Banter, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for more news and the next episode coming very soon.